oppose the ONOP. Thank you, Rajkaran, for joining me. Now, Congress MP Manish Tewari has given the adjournment motion notice in Lok Sabha just hours before the bill has to be tabled in the House, opposing the One Nation, One Election bill. And in fact, now the opposition has been mounting its pressure on the centre for not bringing the One Nation, One Election bill. Joining me live on the broadcast for more is my colleague Anand Singh. Anand, very good morning. Now, the Congress MP Manish Tewari has given the adjournment motion on ONOP. While the Lok Sabha, we are going to see that the bill has to be tabled.
Yeah, look, Simran, today when One Nation, One Election bill will be tabled by Law Minister Arjun Ram Meghwal, the Congress MP from Chandigarh, Manish Tewari, has moved an adjournment motion in the Lok Sabha that this bill, over this bill, that this shouldn't be brought at this point of time, and it needs a lot of discussion. So clearly, there will be a lot of discussion that the Congress is saying that is required over the One Nation, One Election. And this is not the first time that the Congress has opposed the idea of One Nation, One Election. In last several months, we have seen the stand of the Congress party over the One Nation, One Election bill. And they have said that this is just to divert the attention of the public from the real issues, and the government is trying to bring such kind of bills. And remember, this bill was cleared by the cabinet on last Thursday only, and it was set to be tabled in Parliament on Monday. However, the schedule was readjusted to Tuesday, looking at the busy schedule of Union Home Minister Amit Shah. So clearly, there will be a lot of stormy session once again will be witnessed in Lok Sabha when this bill is tabled in the lower house of the Parliament today, later in the day. And even Amit Shah is said to speak on this bill. And even as per our sources, we have learned that once this bill is tabled in the Parliament, it may be referred to the Joint Parliamentary Committee. Back to you, Sundar.
All right, my colleague Anand Singh, in fact, joins me for more. Thank you, Anand, for giving us these details. Now, senior journalist Himanshu Bhatt joins me live on the broadcast. Sir, appreciate you joining me live. In fact, at this point of time, if the bill are passed in without any amendments and in the Parliament, the simultaneous polls are going to be a reality in the year 2034. While there has been a mounted pressure on the government for having brought this kind of a bill for conducting the elections in one go in both the general and the state assemblies, how do you view this, in fact, the kind of atmosphere that has been built against ONOP?
Well, when we are looking at the whole thing, it looks like, there's going to be a soap opera will be played, in coming few days. That is democracy for you. And, One Nation, One Election, just to oppose it, one has to oppose it. Opposition will oppose it. But then, ultimately, what will count is the number statistics in the House. And when you look at that, there's a big gap of about 70 members that the ruling party requires. The seventh, they are lacking, 2/3. They are lacking about 70 votes. Where will they get that from? And so opposition is trying to mount the pressure. Right now, what we have is Congress and DMK has come out in open to oppose this bill. But what is going to happen is there will be some opera being played there. And those numbers, can miraculously, by staying in the opposition, will come to the ruling party. That could happen. You might have, some smaller parties like UBT or, NCP, Sharad Pawar, just joining in. Or maybe TMC, abstaining from the whole process when the voting comes in. So, that 70 might look in, very much on card that ruling party, if they really wish to, can get away with it. But it needs to be seen, It needs to be seen. We have to understand one thing, that a lot of discussion is required before we move to this One Nation, One Election, but not forgetting the fact that a lot of maneuvers are wasted these days when you have an election every 3 months. When you have that election every 3 months, you are going to always be in a trouble. Because what is going to happen is bureaucracy is just going to sit tight. and do nothing, as they do nothing during these election days. So 60 days every year, 2-3 times 60 days, somewhere in some state, there's some election going. To get rid of that, the only alternative is to conduct the polls together. And as the ruling party, argues, I agree with that fact that a lot of money is spent in election campaigning. And that needs to be curbed because we are a developing nation. If we want to become a developed nation, we cannot be spending this much amount of money illegally or legally, whatever it is, behind our election process. Yes, democracy is important. But in this, democracy will stay as it is because people will have a right. I will have a right if I have my voter ID. That, I can vote for my MP, I can vote for my MLA. And that's what the people require. So it's that political will and the political wish. How that is managed, that remains to be seen. And that's why, I'm not overly optimistic about it.
All right, in fact, Himanshu Bhatt there joins me live on the broadcast.